Alright, I think I'm back. Can you hear me? Is everything okay? I updated OBS. I restarted my fucking computer. I closed the 10 million windows that were open. I think everything's working now. Finally. I'm not really gonna do the whole not talking thing anymore, so if you guys don't hear me saying anything, it's just because either I have a mic malfunction, I've just straight up forgot that I was muted, or something like that, or something is just fucking broken with the computer as a whole. That's basically what's going on. Did you scream while you were muted? I screamed a little. It was okay. Could have been better. Hey guys, I was thinking of not streaming today because I wanted to see the return of Doc, you know. Doc is back, so I thought I would show my support and donate him $50. I felt like he needed my support in this trying time. Say something shocking so I'm not compelled to switch to Doc's stream. Why don't you hit me up in my DMs and I'll tell you directly. Are you an underage girl? If you are, make sure to DM me directly. By the way, I don't even know how to use Twitch DMs. I didn't even know that was a thing until Doc Disrespect got in trouble for that shit. Who is back? The Doc is back, bro. Everyone's favorite fucking streamer. I heard that he got demonetized on YouTube as well. But I actually checked in to his stream before I started streaming, and he was getting like a $5 to $10 donation every 3 seconds or so, to the point that he couldn't keep up with thanking everyone, so I think he might be okay. What's the point of demonetizing someone if you're still gonna let everybody throw him money? You are my favorite streamer. I don't really consider myself to be a streamer. I watched a bit of it, and surprisingly he did address it. I don't know how valid his side is, though. I actually missed the beginning when he addressed it. What was his excuse? I'm kind of interested. You are one of my favorite artists, though. I don't really consider myself to be an artist either. By the way, in Japanese, they don't use the term artist. You're a mangaka. It's like a completely different term. You don't call someone an artist. In America, we have this one word that we put everybody in it. And everybody gets to be an artist, whether they're, you know, me or Van Darkholm, who's an artist, a performance artist. But in Japan, if you draw manga, you're a mangaka, not really an artist. You're more of a memer, if anything. Wrong. That's not true.
My name is Van. I'm 30 years old, and I'm from Japan. I'm an artist. I'm a performance artist. I'm hired for people to fulfill their fantasies, their deep, dark fantasies. I was going to be a movie star, you know, with modeling and acting. After 100 or 2 auditions and small parts, you know, I decided, you know, I had enough. Then I get into escort work. The clientele requested a lot of fetishes, so I just decided to go, you know, full master and change my whole entire house into a dungeon, dungeon master, you know, with a full dungeon in my house, and it's going really well. Fisting is $300, and usually the guy is pretty much high on popper to really get relaxed, to get, you know, and I have this long latex glove that goes all the way up to my armpit, and then I put on a surgical latex glove just up to my wrist and just lube it up, and it's a long process, you know, to get your whole arm up there, but it's an intense feeling for the other person. I think for myself too. It's you go in places that even though it's physical with your hand, but for some reason it's also more emotional. It's more psychological too, and we both get, you know, reach the same place. It's really strange at the same time. And I found a session like that, I get really exhausted at the end.
That's right, guys. Fisting is, it's not just physical, it's psychological as well, you know?
I feel kind of naked, because I'm looking at myself for the first time, I think. Well, not myself, but this aspect of my life for the first time. And it's been, gosh, 3 to 5 years already. I never thought about it. Kind of sad, I think. I feel kind of sad right now. I don't know why.
The soft piano jazz really matches the self-reflective Van Lathan, I'm an artist, performance artist interview, I think. I mean, he wanted to go to Hollywood. It would be like if I wanted to become a professional mangaka and instead I spent all my time drawing elf porn on the internet instead. So back to the doc. Did anyone hear what he said to explain what he to his side of the story or whatever the fuck? Did he make an excuse that he didn't know that he was talking to a teenager or some shit? What's up? Not much. I am learning that I have to actually focus and draw if I want to draw fast. The dark realization that I can't just, chill with YouTube in the background and watch anime and think I'm getting shit done. I think I have to draw fast. You make it sound melancholy isn't doing what you love and equal pleasure in life. Fisting is $300. The soundtrack makes everything I say melancholy right now. Me with a cigarette in my hand, looking out at the bay, thinking about fisting, how much it costs. He said the judge said there was no legal wrongdoing and yelled about Twitch not checking whether the person was of legal age or not from their country. It's pretty bad. I don't expect any moral upstanding behavior from him, so I don't really care whether it's pretty bad or not. If anything, the more bad shit that Dr. Disrespect does, the more I'm likely to watch him. If it turned out that he had participated in some sort of real genocide or something like that, I would probably watch his stream. If he was like, yeah, I was in Rwanda the other day with a machete. I killed 50 people. I'd be like, wow, this is fascinating. I should check in on this guy's stream. Has Doc become a right-wing grifter yet? Probably. The equal force against the force of cancellation by morality squads in the current year is becoming a right-wing grifter and then asking for people to donate you money because you're sticking it to the man, sticking it to the libs. You'd think the whole incident would just make him quit internet and make something else of his life instead of returning. I mean, if he's been properly saving all the giga money he got, he doesn't have to actually work again, but I'm sure the guy enjoys being an internet celebrity, so... He's one of those guys who's, it seems like he's playing a ridiculous personality of being an asshole, but, it turns out that he's just a normal asshole. That's all. What happened to Doc's Web3 crypto game studio? I think they cut ties with him or something, is what I heard. They tried to drop him as quickly as they could when shit was coming out during his recent controversy. He said he can apply to YouTube monetization on the 25th. I assume he'll stop or leave if he doesn't get it back. I mean, you can always go to Kick, right? And stream alongside all the hot tub female streamers. Seems as good a strategy as anything else. Too slimy even for crypto bros? Not true. Crypto Bros, there is no too slimy for Crypto Bros. They just thought that he was a liability to them making money and pulling the rug pull when they want to pull it. You are fucked, but you want to know something. People are inherently fucked up. You, the morality police bros that hate Doc, don't even believe their own mantra, and I bet they will also keep watching. Who is the morality police bros? I don't think any of the people who were complaining about Doc were Doc's viewership to begin with. I'm certainly not his viewership. I figure that everybody who watches Dr. Disrespect as a 13-year-old boy who thinks that he's really cool. And the fact that he was slaying the puss and cheating on his wife and kids probably just made them like him even more, is my assumption. I wish Crypto Island was a thing and we could have marooned a bunch of crypto bros on a desolate beach. Yes, if we could have actually convinced a bunch of crypto bros to go out into the middle of nowhere to a horribly constructed island with no real infrastructure, and obviously something would go bad in the first few weeks or so, and there would be like a horrible humanitarian crisis. It would have been extremely funny. But unfortunately we didn't get that. They were too incompetent to even get to that stage, so that's kind of the sad part. We did get the Titanic submersible imploding, but it would have been funnier if it was Crypto Bros. 13-year-old kids who think they are cool by being right-leaning and argue with their parents about it. Yeah, at this point, that age group is so overwhelmingly left-leaning that I assume there's a lot of 13-year-old boys who think that it's really cool to be, you know, trad wife supporting Christian bro, tech bro something. We've come a far time from the 90s when I was growing up, where your parents were probably conservative WASP Protestants who wanted you to go to church, and you being like, I'm gonna become a socialist demonstrator against the NAFTA trade deal. That would make them think that you're like a Satanist or something, and they would freak the fuck out. Nowadays, if kids want to piss off their parents, they certainly can't do it by being left-leaning, so it makes sense why they would want to watch Doc. People will put up a front while watching the said bad person. People never fall on their swords or morals, I meant to say. The only person that I've really stopped watching after the Me Too cancel culture started to come out, I think, is Woody Allen. I was never a really big Woody Allen fan to begin with, honestly. But I tried to watch Manhattan recently, because I think it was a movie I'd never seen to the end. I had always seen like a little bit of it, and the entirety of the first like 20 minutes of Manhattan is Woody Allen dating like a high schooler, and then he has the other characters in the movie being like, oh, she's very mature. Yeah, Woody Allen is dating a high schooler, but it's not that weird. And I'm just like, this is so fucking weird. It's like I'm watching an apology tape for Woody Allen who wants to fuck a younger girl. And when you combine that with him like marrying his stepdaughter or whatever, it was just too fucking creepy. On the other hand, I watch a lot of Roman Polanski stuff recently, and I still enjoy it very much, because you can't really feel his desire to fuck a 13-year-old from his movies. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you can separate the artist's work from the artists themselves if they actually separate their work from themselves. Woody Allen is so clearly involved in his own work, and it's so clearly his own opinions. It's like being listening to him apologize for why it should be okay for him to fuck a teenager for like 20 minutes, and even I don't find that very entertaining. Roman Polanski's work, on the other hand, is meant to be creepy and fucked up to begin with, so it doesn't really, the tone doesn't really suffer from the knowledge that he was also a kind of fucked up person as well. Like, I don't watch a movie about a woman getting impregnated by Satan and being like, oh, I can't really enjoy this Satan impregnation movie because I know the director liked fucking kids. It's actually like, well, I guess they go together. Polanski had a hot redhead waifu. Was this the woman? Are we talking about Sharon Tate? Was she redheaded, or did he have a wife before that, or after that? I never really looked at Sharon Tate until I saw the depictions that I got in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I can't remember. Yeah, she was a blonde, right? That's what I thought. I didn't know if it was just inaccuracy on Tarantino's part, but I didn't think so. Reminds me of that cottage painting guy whose works weren't that bad. It's just that he puked his opinions all over his paintings through his commentary. Are you talking about the guy who had these galleries where you could like get the painting touched up so it looked more like, there would be like posters of paintings, and then you could like have a professional quote unquote artist in the gallery touch the painting up so it looked like it was a real painting or something? I can't remember what it was called. Like, it was super kitschy. Yeah, Kincaid. Wasn't he like a real trad wife Christian conservative or something? Did you know Brad Pitt watches hentai? He's kind of weird. If Brad Pitt watches hentai, it would explain why he would be interested in Angelina Jolie, because she's about as close as you can get to fucking a video game or an anime character. Polanski went full lolicone after Sharon Tate got the Manson family treatment. Yes. If only that tragedy didn't happen, Polanski wouldn't have been forced to have sex with children. It's a real shame, but everything was out of his control. He was powerless before the overwhelming force of tragedy that put him in that position. Very sad. His Christian nonsense ruined his works. Guys, if you're fucking looking at this thing and being like, oh, I sure love this picture, if only the artist who made it and sells it for like $80 in his personal galleries, if only he wasn't a weird Christian guy, I would want to put this in my room. I have to tell you, you have really bad fucking taste. This looks awful. It's AI before AI existed, like, for real. It's just, like, super comfy, basic ass shit paintings that your mom wants to own and put it in your house. It truly was AI before AI was a thing. I guess he's collaborating with Disney. Remember, it says Kincaid Studios. It's not him actually making them itself. Jesus Christ, this looks awful. It's a jigsaw puzzle. It really is. There's even a fucking heart on the lamppost. I bet this is what it feels like coming back to the Shire if you're, like, already super high on pipe weed or whatever they call it by the time you get back. Like, the Shire doesn't actually look like this, but if you're a hobbit that has been, like, trekking through Mordor and you're, like, finally coming back from your big quest and you've already, like, taken a shit ton of hits from your pipe, you're like, oh, we're back at the Shire, Mr. Frodo! Oh, it's so fucking comfy! Oh! Focal point Doko? Yeah. This really lacks, you know, a nice focal point or, you know, basic composition. You could say that your eye is brought to the middle of the painting by the foreground, stuff in the foreground and shit, but it really isn't. Because there isn't, like, any real focus in terms of colors and, like, I don't know, lighting and shit like that. It gets worse the longer you look. Yeah, it really does. Guardian of Grace inspirational art. That certainly sounds like some Christian shit. This actually looks better. Obviously they're being painted by like 10 different people, so... They all have the same fucking lighting though. This is another one with really no strong focal point. Wow, this has really bad composition. It actually reminds me of like Hitler's paintings in the way that the perspective and composition just seem like generally fucked up. Like the horizon line seems really off as well. This might be AI. I don't think it is. It's titled Brand Thomas Kincaid Streams of Living Water. I'm glad that everyone's like, this might be AI, but it's not, guys. So everybody who's like, art is dead now that AI exists, it's like, maybe art was dead before that, guys. Let's not overreact. You could always explain light sources as the light of God. True. The tree is fighting with the church for dominance in that art piece. It really is. Is he the Michelangelo or Louis David of our age? No, he is not. We don't have any of our age. I mean, was there a Renaissance painter that was famous for producing a lot of shit and having his numerous disciples make stuff under his own name and like mass-produce stuff? I know there were Renaissance painters that did that, but I'm forgetting who they were. Not necessarily even Renaissance. Who was the most famous of the guys who of the classic artists who had a shit ton of disciples and they were allowed to sign using his name? It's been a while since I took art history too. Da Vinci? I don't think it was Da Vinci. I don't think Da Vinci had a bunch of pupils, did he? Dürer, that's right. I think I was thinking about Dürer. I mean, Dürer was definitely into mass production in general, right? Because he did all the stenographic prints and stuff. Yeah, I think Dürer had a ton of disciples who did shit for him. Funded paintings suck now and is the only art farm that U.S. federal government fund now. Whatever, man. You can always just paint yourself. It was never the government's job to support artists, guys, let's be honest. If you want to be a successful artist, find a rich patron. It's that simple. I'm actually thinking about it. Famous artists that allowed disciples to mass produce using their signature. Well, you get Dürer at the top. You get Dürer's Four Apostles is the what you get at the top first. Anyways, I'm glad that we're past the period in which basically you could only paint two things: Madonna and Child, number 5083, or another biblical scene, or Greek centaur rape orgy, or I guess there's a little bit more than that. You could also have a portrait of bored-looking noble, or ugly still life of a dead pheasant and a bunch of rotting meat and pieces of fruit just sort of hanging around. Those were your four options, so art isn't actually dying anytime. Art is already dead, guys. We've entered the period in which we don't know what is considered to be actual art, so it's been dead for a while, if you haven't noticed. Marcel Duchamp killed it with the fucking fountain. Art has never recovered since. Marcel Duchamp was like, LMAO, look at this fucking urinal. And nobody could think of a retort for it. And we've entered like year 150 of postmodernism, so AI will replace all the women that refuse to fuck me, and Elon is going to make it happen. I mean, if all you want to do is masturbate, you can already do it with the current version of AI. It's getting pretty good at that. There's a lot of really good AI porn artists right now that I'm enjoying. I especially enjoy that there's a lot of people using Pija's style. And Pija hasn't been making much Edo manga content recently. In fact, I haven't seen anything new from him in years. So I'm glad that there's people pumping out his style using the AI, because we wouldn't get anything new from him if it wasn't for AI. AI art will enable all women to become involved in art in a more involved way than just being curators at a museum. LMAO, because, yeah, we have the great sexist patriarchy preventing women from participating in the art industry right now, right, guys? What are you talking about? We're already in a period where it's just all about how the people you know. Nothing has fucking changed. If you are being blocked from entering the art industry before AI, you'll definitely still be blocked from entering the art industry after AI. Still, AI art has that off feel. I can show you a lot of porn images that are made with AI that I think are perfect. And I don't know how many tries that the prompter had to take, but they don't have any anatomical mistakes and I think look great. But they're porn images, so I can actually post them on stream. I'd say most AI art, if you just prompt it without doing anything extra, looks off in that specific AI way. So ultimately it's still, you know, even if you're just prompting shit, you need someone to do shit, but censor it. I love how people are actually like asking me to show fucking porn on stream. No, I'm not gonna fucking show you my favorite AI porn images on my fucking Twitch stream, you stupid motherfuckers. Go on Pixiv and find your own favorite AI porn artist. The hands are getting better too, sadly. Actually, they're not. That I can attest to. Because I follow some porn AI prompters. There's a guy who clearly doesn't curate his own images and he just generates like 500 at a time. And he just gives them to you directly. And the hands are pretty fucking bad. But what's even worse are the fucking feet. I don't know why he keeps on assuming that we want foot fetish pics when every single foot fetish close up has at least like 6 or 7 toes every single fucking time. Sometimes one foot will have 5 toes, but the other one will have like a solid 8 toes. I've seen as many as, I don't know, 9 toes on some of them. The hands are definitely still messed up. If you see AI images where there's no messed up hands, it's either an extremely simple image or the prompter went through a lot of extra revisions to make sure that hands weren't messed up. It has not solved hands at all. I can say that for sure. Logged into Pixiv recently, showered with gacha waifu pics. I mean, it was that way before AI as well, though. Nothing has changed. I look back to the good old days when most of the porn for doujins was from fighting games. You know, my thing. And now everything is gacha, sadly. Do you think Coomers will adopt and start liking Polydactyl? I mean, there's so many. It's just the same as any kind of art before AI came out. People just like the top level artists, and only the true Coomers who like diving deep into the internet will actually look at the mid-tier artists who can't fix the hands and feet and stuff like that. I look on Pixiv at a lot of AI prompters who I think do a lot of good stuff, and I'll still look at the numbers that they get, the number of views and the number of likes, and it's still just like 200 views, you know. It's the same fucking problem that actual artists have. Is like, how do you get people to look at your shit? Coomers will fap to anything. That's not true. It seems like Coomers will fap to anything because they admit to their most shameful faps and stuff, but in fact, they're just going deeper into the rabbit hole, but they're not fapping to anything. They're just getting worse and worse. They're choosing to ignore the more standard faps and going deeper and darker. Just draw lowly. I don't want to draw lowly. If I want to draw something that AI can't draw, I just need to draw more than like 3 characters in a single panel interacting with each other. As soon as the number of character count becomes greater than like 3 or 4, AI just starts to fucking bug out and the arms and limbs go in all sorts of weird ass places. That hasn't definitely not changed, so... Pedantic, but your logic holds true. What I'm saying isn't that Coomers won't fap to anything. What I'm saying is that it seems like they're fapping to anything because you're seeing the most extreme examples of their poor judgment. But because Coomers spend so much time on the internet getting to pick and choose what they want to fap to, the fact that they're choosing to fap to extremely questionable content doesn't necessarily mean they're choosing to fap to anything. It's like, for the food analogy, it's like the guy who goes to KFC and orders the double down, and you're like, this guy will eat anything, and it's like, no, he actually won't eat anything. If you presented him with a salad, he won't eat it. He's choosing to eat the KFC sandwich that is 2 pieces of fried chicken acting as a bun with bacon in between it. He's purposely making a poor judgment by choice. Harems are the way to stay AI proof, sort of. The trick is that drawing multiple characters in the same frame is difficult for humans as well. There's a reason why you see those huge images where Murata draws like all the jump characters in one panel and stuff. There's a reason why I've only seen basically Murata do that, because it's so fucking hard. Well, not just him, like there's a few other artists. What was it? Yeah, wake me up when AI can do fucking shit like this. Right here. With current technology, AI will never, ever, ever be able to do this, because they can't build a screen and go, I'm going to draw this character, and I'm going to draw this character, I'm going to draw this character, I'm going to draw this character. Because that's not how the whole, the model works. So if you're a good enough artist, you can just keep on adding more characters, and then like trying to get the composition to work out together makes it difficult, but theoretically you can keep on adding characters to the same image, and AI can't do that. Fucking giga talented. What is that from? That's from Etrian Odyssey. That's Etrian Odyssey Untold art book. What was the guy's name? Every time I list him as one of my favorite artists, I always forget what his name is. What was his name? They literally don't list his name on the. Where's the fucking name? I keep on forgetting his name. We need more Etrian Odyssey, guys. No, it's the Etrian Odyssey, not Orenjimaru, dumbass. Orenjimaru is the. Oh, I guess you're not looking at the fucking screen. I forgot that you're at work. It's Himukai Yuji, thank you. Yeah, I'm not fucking putting Orenjimaru Dojins on stream. Hystrixia. Although he is the if you're wondering what the AI images you're looking at, which artist it's based off, it is almost always going to be YD Orenjimaru and Cute Sexy Robots, that combo. You can actually see his signature in the upper corner of most AI images. It will say Orenjimaru, it will say YD, or it'll say cute and spicy or something, which is both the signature of both. Sometimes it'll say both, actually. Do it. I'm not gonna fucking post porn. Why do people keep on suggesting I need to fucking post porn on my Twitch stream? What is this, Forsen? I just listened to 5 minutes of AI art discourse. Yeah, poor Hystrixia is at work right now, so I forget that she doesn't actually get to look at the screen. I remember back when I was working at the office, I would watch Dotes on my phone during the international instead of properly working. Fun fact, TI is going on right now. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. So is Dota no longer popular? I wasn't paying attention, and then I checked out the TI after being told that Dota was dead, and I looked at the prize pool, and it's like, now it's down to like 1/10 of what it was at its peak or whatever. Why was there this precipitous drop off suddenly? Was it actually Artifact? During previous stream, during Guess the Game, Artifact come up, and people were like, this is why Dota's dead now. And I'm like, surely that can't be the case. But it might be. How would I know? It feels like not even Valve cares. Wasn't it that way for a while though? Hey, what's up? I was the one who said it, and that's something I believe, that Artifact basically killed off Dota as a brand for Valve. I don't know. I don't feel like having a bad game in the same universe and same IP can kill off the main game. But maybe it can. I wouldn't know. Because they tried to actually tie owning cards as like a mechanic, right? like a capitalist card owning mechanic to Artifact. Maybe that soured their fan base. It wasn't just a bland game, it was a blunder. You could say that it was one of the greatest blunders of gaming until we had Concord this week. But people are willing to forget Valve's failures pretty quickly because they love Gaben and they love their Steam platform and shit. PC gamers are just the same as console gamers, considering they're all like, no, I only use Steam Marketplace under any situation. In fact, you could say that they're even worse than console gamers in their weird loyalty to launchers. I can't play a video game unless it's on the Steam launcher. It's like, bro, it's the same fucking PC. Just open up a different launcher. It's literally just a different fucking shortcut. How hard can it be? At least console gamers have the excuse of having to buy another fucking $300 console if they want to play something on Xbox when they only have a PlayStation. But PC gamers are like, oh, not on Steam, no buy. PS5 finally has one game. That's also an incredibly stupid fucking argument. PS5 has like 3 or 4 exclusives, which doesn't mean you don't get to play all the games that aren't exclusive. You might have noticed that PC doesn't have a lot of exclusive either, but maybe you're incapable of figuring that out as well. When I was thinking about building a gaming PC, I actually looked up what major exclusives that are only on PC, and it was like 4 games, and one of them was Star Citizen, so that's really all you need to know. It was the Warhammer Total War games, which I wasn't particularly interested in, and it was like Star Citizen, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I don't need to build a PC for exclusives, that's for sure. It's not like in the 90s where just like PS2 was its own environment, PC was its own environment as well, you know? Pretty much every game that's on PC has also been ported to console, especially all the indies and stuff. PC has a lot of exclusives like Edoge, yeah, but I have a laptop and I could definitely play all the Edoge on my laptop. So when I said I was building a gaming PC, I meant like a gaming PC that I would actually need. Games I would actually need a proper desktop PC to play. That's what I mean. And it's basically just like modded porn Skyrim, right? Any update on that? I mean, I haven't made any decisions. I don't see why I should go out of my way right now to build a fucking desktop. I really shouldn't be worrying about improving my gaming infrastructure right now when I'm trying to draw manga. I have other things I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Illusion games with 100 terabyte ultra setting. Yes. How can you truly play your Illusion game experience if you're not playing it at 8K resolution, 5,000 frames per second? Fucking peasants. Doesn't your shit slow down when using CSP though at that canvas size? It does slow down in certain specific situations. Like, if I have a shit ton of layers and I try and use them all at the same time. So I have like 30 layers here. So if I try and rotate my elf, see, it takes about 5-second delay. And if I was working on like a much smaller canvas size and only had a few layers, it wouldn't take that much time, but it's not a big deal. I could also use fewer layers, but that's a bridge I'm not willing to cross. We must have more layers. How many layers do you have per project? I have like 200 layers per page or something, probably. It's probably not that bad. It's probably more like 150, but it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna merge down when I feel like the image is complete. I just merge down, so ultimately it doesn't make any difference. Then he would have to sit up and be away from Futon-chan. No, I could just have a desktop PC on my floor. What I'd have to do is I'd have to get a slightly different setup in which I already have. I'd have to get used to looking at a monitor instead of looking at my laptop monitor when I'm drawing, because I'm using a screenless tablet. So I've always had my screen in a very specific position to my body. So if I was gonna build a desktop PC, what I would do is I would practice drawing in a different posture, looking at a monitor instead of looking at my laptop, and see if I can adjust to that difference. And if it doesn't feel uncomfortable, then I might be willing to build a desktop PC, but if not, it's probably not going to happen. Either way, it sort of seems like a waste of money. I need a laptop for masturbation reasons, so I found that having a big monitor with a big resolution is much more comfortable for CSP. Well, I do have a 4K monitor. I'm using a dual screen setup. I have a 4K monitor to my left, which I have the entire image displayed at all times, so I get a feeling of what, like the line thickness, whether the line thickness looks good and stuff. Whereas when I'm actually doing the drawing, I look at my laptop. Look for used monitors from office liquidations. I already have 2 monitors, so I wouldn't buy a new one. I bought a 4K monitor newly because the HDMI anti-piracy software expired, which was what was bricking my PlayStations, and I couldn't understand why I would get PlayStation black screens, but it was, for some reason, the HDMI software was installed so that it would give you a black screen even without updates. I don't understand. It was already pre-installed in the monitor, I guess. But I still have that monitor, so I could just hook that one up to my laptop. Or not my laptop, if I build a desktop, and I would still have a 2 monitor setup, and that would be fine. Anyways, it just seems like it's rather expensive. So let's say I'm not getting a 4090 as my GPU. Like, what would I don't really want a mid-tier build either, now that I think about it. I think I'd probably get like a semi-luxury build if I was going to build a desktop PC, because what's the point of going out of my way to build a desktop if I'm just going to be cheap about it? Only the GPU is the expensive part. I mean, people are still mining crypto, aren't they? NVIDIA, GPU list. Okay, so Jesus Christ, there's a fucking lot. Let's say I get a 3090, a 2020U RTX 3090, GeForce 3090. It's a extremely affordable $1,200 or so is what I'm seeing right now. Approximately 2.5 PlayStation 5s. I don't really think I can fucking justify spending that much money on something that has the same games and the same performance as a PlayStation 5 has, basically. I thought Burgerland had better GPU prices. Why would it? Everything is expensive as fucking Burgerland. Including and especially the fucking burgers. What is your budget? Well, my current budget is 0 because I'm rapidly losing any motivation to build a desktop. Cost to build a mid to high tier gaming PC. From 1,000 to 1,500. It's still like double the price of a PS5. I think the truth is I would only think about building a desktop if once the laptop fucking dies on me. So I think I'm gonna keep on running this laptop until it no longer works, is I think the answer here. It's only justifiable if I don't have a relatively good performance laptop. $5K is the most you need to spend for a nice PC if you shop smart. I love how people are being like, oh guys, it's only 5,000. Oh. People's standards for gaming PC prices have become really fucked up, and I don't think anyone has noticed that. It's basically the fucking same as owning a modern console in terms of performance if you just want it for gaming. In terms of graphics. And you're paying approximately 3 times the price at minimum. I mean, I guess it was always this way, but the games are basically the same. The only reason why, at least why I would need a PC is so I can fucking mod the Baldur's Gate females so they're not so goddamn ugly. If you're looking to play something like Baldur's Gate 3, you need nothing more than a 3070. I bet I could play it on much weaker settings than that. Just play it on minimum settings. Have the same... Get the actual classic Baldur's Gate experience. Go back to the past.
Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing quite a bit once we get there, but so you don't really need fast reactions or anything. The game should play okay with these FPS that we're getting at the moment. It's just point and click basically, and that's about it, you know, not much to it. Now the thing is, the stuttering is quite annoying and it can be very distracting, especially when you're immersed into the game, you know, because this is an immersive game when it's running well. And with 4 FPS 1% lows, yeah, I'm just gonna stop it there, okay? And I'm gonna go to the wilderness. Basically, as I was saying, guys, in more
60 frames per second
areas and settlement areas with a lot of NPCs and so on,
it looks like a PS3 game in terms of textures,
as we saw, right? And that wasn't even one of the most intensive areas. But here, out in the open, if you're not really seeing a ton of NPCs in front of you and enemies and stuff, it can actually get pretty decent FPS. And locking the frames in this case would also help it quite a bit at like 40 frames.
I played it on max on a fucking GTX 1080. Yeah, that's what I assumed. It is just a CRPG after all, at the end of the day. I just want the Steam Dick to play old games, JRPG, visual novels for the rest of my life. Ooh, better spend the $3,000 on those visual novels, man. You don't want to ruin the visual novel experience by having a low frame rate. Gotta get those smooth animations when you're reading that Japanese hentai text. When you started drawing your comic, you inspired me to start drawing more seriously, and I start to draw 7 hours a day. Now I'm trying to dub a page a day during September to make myself better and thus become a super successful mangaka who will inherit the will of Oda. Thanks, Baal. Yes. You just need to keep on going. It's a fucking struggle. We all know it. It's a fucking struggle. But, everybody is like, God damn it, I have to draw. It's so much work. You're not suffering alone in the darkness. We're all in the darkness suffering with you. Don't forget that. It's just the artist lifestyle. Oda is suffering too. Never forget that. Oda has fucking gout and is only sleeping 3 hours. Yeah, it's just a combination of practicing all the little things, and eventually you get better at enough of them that the total experience is like you're okay at whatever you're doing. Oda is training his arm constantly so his tendons don't rupture. The funny thing about Oda is that a lot of the Japanese internet is constantly complaining about how many characters he draws per page. Everyone is like, he should draw less so it's easier to read the whole manga. So he's actually reducing the popularity of his manga by working more. Oda is raw dogging Nami cosplayer during those 3 hours though. Feels good, man. You know you've truly made it when you draw your idealized giga titty female character and then you get to marry the woman who's portraying it in like a show or whatever. He has actually made his hentai fantasies into reality. He's like modern day Piglamion, or however you pronounce that guy's name. People are complaining about readability in One Piece. Are people daft? I can see why they complain. It's not something that really is smooth reading at this point. He has a shit ton of details. and a lot of dialogue recently, at least compared to his earlier stuff. Why does Oda keep dividing panels at the edges into slim vertical stripes? I think the answer is he's trying to make... he's trying to do the passage of time, is what I think those mean. He's trying to simulate a short pause in terms of time without actually using too much pages. Usually you'd put like a background in those places. Talking about things like this, right? I'm doing it too. I don't want to put a full fucking like panel here, but it signifies like a short cut between scenes. Between the table scene and her chilling. Whether it works or not is another question. If people don't understand what you're doing, then it means it's not working, but who's gonna complain to Oda? He's already too powerful. There isn't anyone in terms of editors or anything that can tell him to stop doing something at this point, so... I noticed that Oda continues the current panel in those. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I haven't read One Piece in a while. Yeah, I think he's just trying to simulate time, the movement of time or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a fade in, fade out type stuff. I think that's correct. I think part of the problem with One Piece is that he has not necessarily the fade outs are the problem. I think the problem is that he has too many scenes where he has to fade out. In other words, he has like 10 different things going on at the same time. There's always like a gigantic... There's like 6 battles going on at the same time in pretty much every conflict, right? And each one has like 300 people fighting. And then they have to explain what's going on in terms of fighting. And who is where, and who is at what part of the city, and all that stuff. Didn't used to be like that? Yeah. It didn't used to be like that, but... It's not how shonen power inflation usually happens, but it does seem to be a part of shonen power inflation. How big is Big Mom's clit? I'm gonna say that she probably masturbates a lot, so it's even larger than you might expect. The same size as her nose. How about that? The real question is how big is Robin's clit when she goes full power? Not normal Robin's clit, but when she goes all out just this once. Mega clit to rape all her male victims. No, please, strong female. Don't fuck my asshole with your enlarged clitoris. Wouldn't that be really uncomfortable? I don't really have a clitoris, so I don't know, but I hear it's very sensitive. I feel like in the battle between asshole and enlarged clitoris, the asshole might actually win. I cannot answer talk to someone with a mega clit. I guess we should ask on Reddit or something. I have a question. Does any female Redditors out there have a mega clit? I need you to ask some. I need to ask you something. Do you find it uncomfortable? This is a problem that I am having as a man, except I have a massive penis. One-way trip to getting a bunch of porn spam in your inbox. The good old days. I haven't got any real porn spam in years now. I love how some feminists have kind of latched onto the idea of hyenas fucking things with their weird snake-like clitoris tubes as like a symbol of female power or something, and then you actually like read up on the biology of how that shit works, and it's horrifying because they also have to like give birth out of them as well. It sounds like the worst fucked up Darwinian nightmare you could possibly imagine, but I guess the feminists think it's cool. If there's any kind of Freudian proof that women actually do have penis envy, it's the fact that there are some women that latch on to the idea of hyenas as like a feminist symbol. I think that's like huge evidence that women do have penis envy. It's disgusting in my opinion. Hyena birth. Yeah, we're not showing this on stream, guys. Oh god. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, next topic. Is it that bad? Yeah, just some of the photos. It was just like, yep. I knew it was bad, but I didn't actually want to see the actual photos of the shit, so... You used to be cool, Ball. Yes, fine. We can have some images of other animals having sex, just not hyenas. Let's try barnacle sex. Here we go. Eat your heart out, chat. That's a barnacle cock right there. The barnacle has the largest penis in comparison to the rest of its body size. Certain barnacles have penises that extend 8 times the length of their bodies, giving them the largest penis to body size ratio in the entire animal kingdom. No match for the queen termite's abdomen. No, not the queen termite. My greatest rival. You gonna get banned again? I didn't say this was a penis. This is just a nondescript tentacle. Handy for when your girlfriend wants sex but you don't want to pause your match in Call of Duty. I don't know. I feel like extending your penis the size that's 8 times the size of your body length might be distracting from the Call of Duty experience in general. World's longest cock by relative size versus the world's largest womb by relative size. The truth is, using a penis for procreation is just weak. I wish we could just come into the ocean and let our semen float around and just have it inseminate eggs floating around in the ocean as well. Going on. Penis. It really do be like that when Luffy is walking to the other room to eat some meat or something, but Boa Hancock isn't done with his cock yet, and she's clenching tight onto it with her internal muscles, and it's just stretching as he walks into the other room. And then, like, Chopper walks through the room and he's like, "What's that, Luffy? What's going on here?" I'm so glad I'm not a member of the Straw Hats Pirates crew. That would be fucking awful. Chopper is a medical expert, I guess. I don't know how much of an expert he is when it comes to Luffy's extending cock, though. Why don't you use the move tool and click on the line to change that line's layer instead of changing layers manually? I do that. I just have so many layers that sometimes it's easier to change it manually. You're just not noticing it. I am using that Control Shift. Why don't you do art program the way I do art program? Yeah, people are constantly coming into stream. It's similar energy as the streamer. Why aren't you using this Dark Souls build that I was using? Streamer backseating. Robin would be able to wrap multiple hands around it while being stretched out. We really shouldn't joke about Luffy being raped by all these women, because that's basically what's going on right there. Luffy is incapable of signing off on his own actions when it comes to things about sex. He's basically a fucking child, and we have all these women taking advantage of his body. Do you like using the keyboard on the PC, or do you prefer using buttons on the tablet? I prefer using it on the tablet. It's right there. My right hand is using the pen, and my laptop is on my right, so my left hand is the open one. Theoretically, I could switch the positioning, but I've always done it this way, so I don't really see any reason to. I have 8 hotkeys, 2 hotkeys on the pen, so a total of 10 hotkeys. And then I have 2 scrollers on the scroll wheel, so that's more than enough functions. Pretty sure Luffy is canonically asexual. I feel like Goku is as well, but that didn't stop Chi-Chi from basically raping him. He's like, "Oh, Chi-Chi, do you want to fight? I'm starting to feel waku waku." And then 9 months later, he had a fucking son. And then she's all like, "Goku-sa, you have to be a proper father and have a job and stuff." And he's like, "I don't understand what you're saying, LMAO." Yeah, so all the criticism that we have about Goku being a horrible father can kind of actually be excused because he probably didn't consent to having sex or being a father in the first place. Chi-Chi legit played him. Goku has the mind of an actual kid. Am serious. I mean, for those of you who haven't read early Dragon Ball, he starts with patting all the nether regions of every character he comes across because he can't tell whether they're a man or a woman. So he has to pat Bulma's crotch to see if she's a guy. And he goes from that to being a father in a few years. I still cannot get over the time where he sits there intrigued by seeing 2 people kiss and tells Vegeta he's never been kissed. And Vegeta is like, "What the fuck? Goku only knows loveless rape." It's very sad, honestly. Chi-Chi probably just fucks him while he's asleep. In fact, he probably doesn't even know how Gohan popped out or something. He was probably like, "Chi-Chi, why are you getting so fat?" And she's like, "Shut up, Goku." And 9 months later, she's like, "This is your son." Vegeta is so odd to me. He has this hot ass wife who's rich, like, dude, always angry over petty shit. That's not unrealistic at all. He's a short manlet who came from high status in society, and he's always been beaten by this weird guy who came out of nowhere that comes from the lower class, and no amount of cope can overcome the fact that him being the Prince of the Saiyans doesn't make him the strongest person in the universe. That's peak Napoleon complex energy right there. It's perfectly normal that Vegeta is like that. Vegeta is a jobless bum living with his genius wife. I mean, if you're one of the strongest creatures in the universe and your job was killing planetary level threats when they show up, and also your wife was literally the richest person on the planet, do you really think you need to work? That feels like bullshit. I don't think Jeff Bezos is asking his superhero wife to fucking work. He's doing fine. He might act grumpy around her, but she does make him happy by pampering him. I think Vegeta is actually very easy to please. Unlike Goku. Well, Goku is easy to please as well, but you have to please him with, like, fighting and food. Whereas Vegeta, if you're just sort of, like, nice to him in general, he'll be in a better mood. We don't actually see much interaction with Vegeta and other people in the manga, which would be the official source, but in the anime we see a lot of Bulma and Vegeta interaction because, of course, they need to pad the runtime. I can't believe Elon Musk is the richest person in our universe, when in Dragon Ball the richest person in that universe basically created technology to put everything in, like, a bottle, and also produces all the things that you put in the bottle as well, and also can build a fucking time machine when she feels like it. Of course, she's the richest person on the planet. Also, she was doing that shit when she was like 16. So, yeah. One hell of a wife, bro. I mean, let's be honest. Not just Bulma, but pretty much every Dragon Ball character is like just whatever convenient thing they need to be for the plot to go forward on a week-to-week basis. Toriyama never ever stopped to think, like, let's look at the settings behind this character and think if this makes sense or not. He's just like, that seems good enough. Bulma just exists to make shit happen from, like, a technological perspective and stuff like that. Do you think Bulma, like the richest girl on the planet, would have to go on a quest to find the Dragon Balls in the middle of nowhere just so she could find a hot guy? That shit doesn't need to make sense. It's a fucking fairy tale. If Yamcha never cheated on Bulma, the timeline would have been doomed. Bulma never had any real chance. Not when you have a floating cat that can transform into any woman you want. Your cat bro slash possibly female bro can fulfill all of Yamcha's needs. "18 turned into athleisure wear mommy." I mean, that's not unrealistic at all. All women turn into athleisure wear mommies after a while. If you give them the D. If you give them that hot Krillin bald guy D, then you'll all be athleisure wearing soon. Hell, I'm not a mommy and I'm wearing athleisure stuff. If Bulma can wish for a bigger butt and being basically eternally younger, why can't Vegeta wish to have an actual hairline? Because Vegeta doesn't think his hairline is embarrassing. He thinks it's cool. He thinks that's normal Saiyajin hair. The real question is, why does Nappa have no hair? Vegeta went ahead and said that unlike Earthlings, Saiyan's hairstyle doesn't change. So it doesn't grow out. That means Nappa was just like, I'm gonna fucking shave my hair and it's not coming back and I don't give a fuck. He's just like me. I feel like Nappa is a big loser of the whole Saiyan saga stuff. Same thing for Raditz. Vegeta is being a total asshole and blows him up to show how evil he is. And then like 20 volumes later, Vegeta's like a good guy and getting married and shit, and Nappa is still dead and doesn't even get to come back, even in the whole like after death scenarios and stuff. He was just a normal, you know, Saiyan fighter, and he really got the short end of the stick. Nappa is boring, sorry. I mean, so is Yamcha, but he got to stick around until the end of the fucking series, so... Jiaozu is, more interesting than fucking Yamcha, but they're like, we left Jiaozu. He's not allowed to come to the Cell fight. I don't think he's strong enough to keep up with us. Shen saying that. It's like, bro, nobody except fucking Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan can keep up with this shit. What the fuck are you even talking about? As if it makes any real difference. Give me a break. Raditz was an incredibly wasted character. Yeah. Again, Dragon Ball has no sort of long-term planning. It's just Toriyama making shit up as he goes week to week, according to what his editor tells him. It's sort of the opposite of One Piece. Oda has like entire notebooks full of the story plot points that he was gonna do, that he started thinking of during middle school and shit. And he's planning like, you know, 30 years into the future, both in terms of what happens in the manga and outside of the manga. It's like actual 20-year plan going on here. And Toriyama is just like, LOL, LOL, LMAO. I'll just make shit up. There we go. I met my deadline. Easy. Don't care. Oh, I feel like I want to draw some planes or something, or motorcycles. Let me draw Goku riding a motorcycle. As a kid, I didn't understand how good Toriyama was at drawing mecha, and I took it for granted. And also, I was always like, why the fuck are these guys always sitting around in airplanes and riding motorcycles and stuff when they can fly faster than like the speed of sound? This doesn't make any sense. And it was just because Toriyama wanted to draw mecha. Simple as. The trick to Toriyama's mecha is that he doesn't use rulers. There's not a lot of straight lines. He draws the straight lines by hand, which makes them look very gritty and kind of lived in, like they're alive. He draws the mecha the same way he draws humans, basically. He doesn't think of it as an inanimate object. If you actually look at the lines, they're very squiggly. Sandland looks dope. I wish we had gotten more, like 2 more volumes of Sandland instead of like the entire Boo saga. I don't think Toriyama needed to do as much Dragon Ball as they asked him to do. It's not like I dislike the Boo saga, but I think what Toriyama wanted to do was just like silly stuff in general. But he was too talented, so they wouldn't let him. Alright, fuck this. I'm getting bored of coloring shit in. I want to do something else. I'm going to do like 2 guess the game stuff, and then I'm going to go back to sleep, I think is the plan here. Are you feeling the neck pain? I don't actually have any body pain, even though I'm 37. Elden Ring? No, this is a fence. This looks like another fucking zombie game. Metal Gear Survive? What is this thing? I don't know. This looked like a bonfire or something. It reminded me of the approach to the Storm Castle. I just want to guess Elden Ring. It's been long enough. Where's the fucking Elden Ring guess? Aside from the knee occasionally, I don't even have any knee pain right now, actually. None of my body parts hurts. I guess properly exercising is really important. Last of Us 2. Totally Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Sonic. Sonic 06. This thing? Does it look like Sonic? I don't think it's Sonic. Why is everyone fucking saying Sonic? Is it because of the fences? Was this like a modern Sonic game? What was it called? It was like Sonic Adventure or something? Not Adventure, Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice. Sonic Frontiers, was that the most recent one? No. And it's not Sonic. Who said Sonic? Timeout. Also timed out. I mean, this looks like fucking Elden Ring again. Is it Death Stranding or something? I don't know, man. This shit looks weird. That's what I was thinking. Dark, foreboding, 83%. I'm thinking Death Stranding. The first of our Strand type games. No. PC, PS5. Now I'm really lost. What was on PC, PS5? It's not Starfield. It looks science fiction. What got skipped over on Xbox and Switch? Looks like Shooter Slot. Could it be fucking Concord? LMAO. But it's not Death Stranding. It's the more you look at it, the more it looks like Death Stranding, so. Concord. I don't think it's Concord, but it would be. If it was Concord, it'd be fucking hilarious. I mean, it has a grenade. It would certainly be timely if it was Concord. Yeah, it's 83%. It would be like, even with the reviewers, it would be below 80%. Could this be on Destiny? Grenade. Huh. But we haven't had any newer version of Destiny since it was bought out by PlayStation. Grenade? A game with grenades, fences, and weird bloody areas in it. Helldivers 2. Oh, that's a good guess. Yeah, that's actually a really good guess. We haven't, that would make sense. I mean, they have fucking grenades, right? Let's try Helldivers 2. Good guess, you're right. I forgot about it, because I don't play Helldivers. Because I have no friends. I like imagining that all the Helldivers are female characters and horrible Ryona Guro stuff is happening to them when they get killed by gigantic bugs. Some of my favorite Ryona Guro artists did some Helldivers artwork, so they definitely feel the same way about that. How's your AI solo D&D campaign attempt coming along? I unsubscribed from Novel AI because I need to be drawing my manga instead of playing solo D&D by having Novel AI produce a campaign for me. Isn't that the game where the devs are fucking ruining the game? It's a combination of the devs and Sony corporates. Sony corporates keeps on forcing PC gamers to try and link their accounts to the PlayStation network, and the devs are also fucking up the game and making it less fun apparently, but really it's not my problem. That is Destiny 2. Well, Destiny 2 is it doesn't have to be either or. Helldivers had potential too. Damn shame. I mean, it's a $40 game and like people played it for 100 hours. I don't understand what you expect out of it. Oops. I need to choose play previous days. Their deal with Sony fucked them over by forcing PS accounts. I think they've been owned by Sony for quite a while now, though. Because wasn't Helldivers 1 exclusive on PlayStation consoles? I think they've been published by Sony for quite a while, so... Nobody thought that Helldivers 2 was going to blow up to the level that it did, of course. I never even heard of Helldivers 1. It wasn't a third-person shooter. It was a twin-sticks shooter from above. It had all the same mechanical aspects that Helldivers 2 has. except it was done with like from above. So it was a twin stick style shooter. I own it on my PlayStation. What is this, fucking Duck Hunt? It's not Duck Hunter though, we already had Duck Hunt. It's not Oregon Trail, we also had Oregon Trail. Track and Field NES, that seems likely. Excite Bike, that's also a choice. Motorbike game, I think would be Excite Bike. A lot of people saying Excite Bike. We could try that. I mean, there's all these mountains. It's not Duck Hunt. No. What the fuck is this thing? What game involves you solving puzzles of a chicken? Sliding puzzles. I can't even tell if this is an old game or not. It's probably not because it's 81% instead of too old. Is it WarioWare? I thought WarioWare had different graphics from this. Looks like a WarioWare thing. We can try WarioWare. WarioWare on 3DS. Which WarioWare is it though? WarioWare Touched. Good Touch or Bad Touch? It's Nintendo stuff, definitely. Nintendo is the only company that can do this kind of bullshit, weak-ass games, like sliding puzzles, and people are like, what an excellent fucking game. Alright, let's try Touched. Oh god, it was. Because people were saying DS, I was like, you can touch shit with DS. I was thinking you could slide this around with the stylus. It was WarioWare Touched. Tell me where Mr. Wario touched you, kids. And it's like their fucking wallet. He touched my wallet. I must admit, I don't miss the era of being forced to play things on my double screen. First screenshot is a mega throw off. There's no way you could guess it. We've had lots of screenshots where I'd be like, there's no way I could guess that. And people are like, oh my god, how can you not recognize that single pixel? That's clearly Warcraft, you know? When World of Warcraft finally shows up in here, I assume everybody in chat will guess it. If they just see like a tiny fucking pixel, they're like, that looks like World of Warcraft. Like this one. Oh, they're gonna give us better. Okay, Borderlands 2? What has a fucking windmill in it? Any guesses? This reminds me of Borderlands. Looks flat in 2D. Does Borderlands have windmills? I don't think so. Blue filter. 2.5D. I don't know. I think it might be 3D, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I just kind of remember driving around in Borderlands 2 at like night and stuff and shooting shit. And there would be like bats on the rocks and stuff. Possibly the pre-sequel. I think it might be 3. Yeah, I played Borderlands 3 to the end. And it was not worth my time. I remember driving around this area with like rocks and stuff, actually. I would never guess that. My condolences. The games I've actually played, I do a really good job fucking guessing them. The fact that I can guess so many games that I haven't even played or watched a stream of says how much of a fucking gamer I am. So if I actually play a game to the end, like Borderlands, I can basically identify it pretty easily. Did you cry when Lilith girl bossed herself, Kappa? I've already complained about this, but the worst part of Borderlands 3 is Lilith is completely fucking useless the entire game, and she just tells you to do shit. And then at the end, after you beat the last fucking boss and you've killed everything the entire game, Lilith is like, my powers are back! I'm gonna save you guys! And then she like flies to the fucking moon, and all the NPCs are like, she sacrificed herself to save us, guys. And like the last song of the game is like, this girl's on fire! Like they're talking about Lilith. I'm just like, what the fuck? I just played like 50 hours of gameplay where I was the fucking errand boy for this stupid, worthless bitch. And then at the end of the game, she gets to be like the fucking hero, and that's it. And I'm supposed to like cry for her. Oh my god, it was so fucking tone deaf. It said so much about their complete inability to be good video game writers and construct a narrative around you, the player. It was awful. It was just like, I've never seen a game that felt just so incredibly tone deaf to what its players wanted, including the death of Maya and stuff like that. It truly left a shitty taste in your mouth, like I had just eaten a massive shit sundae. Still better than the movie, surprisingly. Not that surprising. Video game movies have always been pretty fucking awful, unfortunately. You killed Maya for this? They have no idea. The American writers really think that they're like writing the great American novel or some shit, when there's a reason why they're being forced to write dialogue for a fucking shooter video game. It was they don't realize they're talentless hacks, and they really get attached to their own characters, and as a player you end up suffering for it. It's very painful, considering the gunplay is actually decent. This is why I'm enjoying the first Descendant, because it's Destiny, and I just get to look at tits and ass. It's not trying to be too complicated. Now this looks like Last of Us right here. Is this anything besides Last of Us 1? Looks like Last of Us 1. Unless it's something else like, you think it's 2? I think it's 1. Last of Us 1 looks really good, and there's also a remastered version. I think it's Last of Us 1. No, it's not even Last of Us. It's Fulton's original blend. 80%. It's not Fallout. Fallout doesn't have this kind of stuff. Dead Island 2? I guess it's Dead... Does this look like Los Angeles? Dead Island 2 is Los Angeles though, isn't it? It could be Dead Island 2. I feel like Dead Island 2 would have better sunlight though. This feels a little dark for Dead Island. The lighting feels a little too dark. Writers are too fond of self-sacrifice? Yes. Remember in Gears 3, where you've already murdered millions and millions of what they're called, the enemies, and yet at some point Don is like, I have to sacrifice myself, and he jumps in a fucking oil tanker and kamikazes, and it's just like, how is this current situation different from a million other situations in this game where we just shot all the enemies? Why are you getting in an oil tanker and blowing yourself up? I stopped playing Gears of War 3 at that point because it just felt so manipulative and stupid, and I just was like, I can't do this anymore. It's fucking retarded. We'll try Dead Island 2. It could be Remnant. I actually like the Remnant. I was thinking of Remnant in Screen 1, but I couldn't remember what it was called. Remnant from the... What? Remnant? Remnant, oh. It's either 2 or 1. Let's try 1. Remnant from the Ashes. Okay, it's 2. There we go. Yeah. Dom was tired, I guess. Gears is just like, oh, this is so hardcore and depressing porn. Just goes on and on. I tried playing Remnant a little, and it just wasn't very fun. It feels like a 7 out of 10 free-to-play game. Just the way everything's positioned. I'm guessing this is a bug. Or is he supposed to act like that? You look away and he keeps on getting closer. That's pretty scary. That's spooky. Spooky! It's spooky! Alright, next. Now this looks like, I don't know, Tarkov? I guess Tarkov has better graphics than this. Is it 100% Tarkov? It could be a different survival. What do you think is in the background here? Yeah, Sons of the Forest is another possibility. I guess it depends on what... The lighting feels a little extreme for Tarkov now that I think about it. Plane in the background. That would be Sons of the Forest, right? Yeah, that's a plane. That seems more like it would be Sons of the Forest than Tarkov. Also, the graphics look... I think felt like Tarkov had better graphics than this. The Forest 2. How many Forest games are there? There's Forest and Sons of the Forest. Let's try the Forest 1 first. There we go. Number 1. I fucking hate survival crafting, guys. Fucking hate it. Never have enjoyed it in any way. Even if it allows me to murder things, I don't want to do it. Isn't Sons of the Forest still in early access? Do they have early access games and Guess the Game? Here's the big secret. They do. There'll be games that won't have a Metacritic score because it's still in early access. Like Project Zomboid that was in early access for the last 50 years will be like still in early access and people are like, what the fuck? We can't guess this. They only do it for games that have been in early access for like 10 years though and people know what it is. It's not like a no-name game that you don't know about it. He just like me for real, for real. The sun was too bright. Yeah, Tarkov doesn't have this kind of extreme lighting. It's much more muted, so you can actually see shit and shoot shit. Yeah, 7 Days to Die, LMAO. Big Star. Homefront? What the fuck is this? Resistance? COH? Oh, Company of Heroes? I guess it's World War II. Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's try Company of Heroes. Medal of Honor shit. It could be honestly any kind of World War II game. Easy. One shot. Someone has played a bit of this. The yellow flag. Oh, it's not an FPS. It's a tactical TRPG. Man, we get a lot of first guest stuff in this chat, including me. RTS, yes, that's the correct term. Excuse me. Good graphics. Tree. Some sort of rune. Is this a couch? This looks like a blocked doorway. Oh no, Stray. It Takes Two, or Ants Game. Monhunt Stories, Unraveled. The graphics are very good, considering this is like a chunk of a screenshot. I think we've had It Takes Two already, and people guessed it pretty quickly. I don't think it's any of the Pikmins. The graphics are too crisp. There isn't any Nintendo system that has this level of graphics if you look at the leaves and stuff. I kind of like the Stray guess. I don't know why I'm thinking Stray, but I'm kind of feeling Stray. No. 91%, extremely popular. Is this like a Metroidvania? I can't even tell what this thing is. Maybe it is Unraveled. Tearaway. Tearaway would have more paper. This doesn't look like paper, does it? Sony platforming. Let's try Unraveled. I don't think it's Tearaway. PS3. Is it a Sackboy game? Doesn't Sackboy have more yarn in it? Fucking bombs. PS3. I mean, which Little Big Planet would it be? Yeah, I completely forgot what it was called. I guess if it's Little Big Planet, it would have a shit ton of different textures and stuff. Is it one word? Little Big Planet? Okay, it is Little Big Planet. Which one is it now? Maybe 3? The graphics are pretty good. 2? Could be Sackboy's Great Adventure. 2011. That sounds like 2. Okay, there we go. Little Big Planet 2 was the other one on PS3. I thought 3 was... I guess 3 was on 4 now that I think about it. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't like platforming, guys. Not gonna lie. Never liked platforming. Don't like jumping. It's not a mechanic I particularly enjoy. Don't like jumping from platform to platform. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo? Anyone? I feel like we haven't had Gran Turismo yet. Ridge Racer. Need for Speed. This is definitely PS1 right here. Can be Colin McRae Rally. Gran Turismo would have real brands. That's a good point. I think you're right. Let's try Ridge Racer. The graphics, I feel, would be like a little better than Ridge Racer. Let's try Ridge Racer. Unfortunately, there's a shit ton of Ridge Racers. No, it's not even that franchise. Maybe it is Gran Turismo. Let's try Gran Turismo. We haven't had Gran Turismo yet, I'm sure of it. There we go. I guess I was right on the first try. You led me astray. I should have gone with my gut instinct. I had a feeling that it was coming up soon, so... But we hadn't had Ridge Racer either, so... GTO. 96%. When Gran Turismo came out, this was like the first time gamers were like, 3D driving, it's amazing. Well, here's all the fucking real life brands. I'm guessing that Weaver is an actual like tire brand or something. Next. Alright, what is this? Could this be like SSX? What's the name of the super classic N64 snowboard game? Was it like SSX 1080? SSX Tricky? It's a trap, but yeah, thought SSX. It could be 1080 as well. Let's try 1080 first. No. I guess Snowy Mountains isn't enough to give us 93%. It's fucking beloved. Is it Final Fantasy VII? I think we should not assume it's a snowboarding game. Remember, there's a snowboarding stage in Final Fantasy VII. But what is this thing? That is the question. It looks like an N64 game. %. Huh. I mean, what is this thing right here? Sonic Adventure 1 also had a snowboarding segment. We did have Sonic Adventure 1 already, though. So it's not Sonic Adventure 1. Pretty recently. Let's try SSX Tricky. It reminds me of those tunnels during time runs or in racing games. I know, right? Oh, it is SXX. I was right on... Man, I'm getting these franchises really correct on my first shots. Whether it's Gran Turismo or SSX. I should really believe in my gut instinct But what SSX game is it? Sex, yes. Maybe it's just SSX. No. Alright, this is gonna be hard. Okay. Do we have the year? 93%. PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Did anyone have any of these on their GameCube? On tour. Tricky. Jesus Christ. It's not on tour, it's not SSX, it's not tricky. Is it just 2? We have Blur and 3. 2003. Okay, finally got it. These sequels are hard. EA Canada. Back when EA made good video games, sort of. EA never really made good video games. They had developers that made good video games. That fucking draw distance. You can see about 10 feet ahead of you as shit loads. Yes. Back gaming in the old days where the entire map was fucking loading 10 feet away from your face. Okay, some kind of tennis. What tennis is this? Could it be Mario Tennis? What tennis options do we have besides Mario? Is there any tennis game that people like enough that it would be... The graphics are pretty shitty. If only Dead or Alive Tennis, I would masturbate nonstop looking up the upskirt shots of Leifan. I think we've already had Wii Sports. Let's try Mario Tennis first. Why not? No. 92%. Beloved tennis game. Could it be Virtua Tennis? I feel like Virtua Tennis would be lower. Okay, it was 92%. Very high. Arcade. Oh, interesting. I didn't know Virtua Tennis was originally an arcade game. Euler. The Sega AM3 arcade tennis game. Boink. I feel like tennis is the ultimate troll sport. It's just you and another person. You get to torture them for hours. Deadly Premonition? What is this thing right here? Is this a ship? Quantum Break. Oh, the Quantum Break is a good guess right there. Lots of chromatic aberration. Cars too detailed. There's so much chromatic aberration here. I think Quantum Break is a really good guess. I'm gonna try that. Yep, good shot. It has that, like, this is a story game level of blurriness right here. I saw someone play this game for about 15 minutes, and it had that kind of shitty blurry filter on everything, so... If you've seen it before, you kind of know how it works. Damn, the graphics really do look good, though. The way, like, stuff... Remedy can make some cool games, but they're really more like cool story experiences than games, unfortunately. The recent NFS games had massive chromatic aberration and blur too. True. But this thing right here looks like some sort of sci-fi implement, which I didn't think would exist in NFS games. There's also not... I mean, how often are you going to have a SUV driving in an NFS game? You'd usually have like a sports car, right? Chromatic aberration gives me nausea, so I guess I'm genetically predisposed to good taste. You'll never be a real gamer girl until you learn to turn up the blur options and the aberration to get your full gamer experience where everything is a blurry fucking mess and you can't see what you're shooting at. Okay, some kind of fantasy game. We have some testicles in the foreground? What are these things? Huh. Could this be like some sort of civilization thing that's super zoomed in? It's not Spore. Looks like Larian Studios slop. Yeah, it does. That's a good guess. We could try Original Sin 2. I don't think we've tried Original Sin 2 yet. No. 81%. Huh. It definitely looks like a TRPG though. Or CRPG. What does the C in CRPG stand for, guys? Crap. Looks like Diablo game like Path of Exile. It's not Path of Exile. I don't think it's Diablo either. Cum. Okay. Cum RPG. What about... Oh, no, we've already had Pillars of Eternity, and Pillars of Eternity doesn't look this good. Cum RPG. I mean, everything I know from Baldur's Gate says that it is, in fact, a Cum RPG, so... Magica. Huh. I didn't think about we could try Magica. Yeah, why not? No. Looks like some sort of technology? Not sure. There's like fucking great here. Is it Baldur's Gate 3? Doesn't look like Baldur's Gate. Lost Ark seems more likely. I like the Lost Ark guess. Yeah. I've been thinking about playing Lost Ark, to be honest. Here we have the Korean name being a dead giveaway. And the scantily clad female also being a dead giveaway that it is made by Koreans. Also, here's the slop. Alright, one more and then I I take a nap. Would anyone recommend Lost Ark? Also, what was the other action RPG that came out recently around the same time as Diablo 4 that people were like, you should play this $40 game instead of Diablo 4? Because I was thinking about playing that. Was it like Last Epoch? I can't remember. BioShock? PvP is impossible for new players. Main community for Lost Ark is advancing the game together. The catch-up is too slow or too expensive. What if I just want to play through the story mode alone? I meant BioShock Infinite, not, you know, in Rapture. Do the Sims 3 expansions count? Has Dishonored come up? I believe Dishonored has came up, but I'm not sure. You still need to level up your armor and grind for weekly level up rolls, I believe. Well, I'm playing First Descendant right now, so I guess I don't have enough time for one Korean grinder, so I definitely don't have enough time for two Korean grinders either. A lot of people saying Dishonored 2. I did not play Dishonored 2, so I'm willing to give you guys that guess. I played 1. No. And it's not Dishonored franchise either. Although this makes it look more like Dishonored. 67%. It's not a particularly well... It's a really lowly... That's a shitty score right there. This is the critic score, not the user score, so... They really didn't like that. What about, like, Hello Neighbor or something? Or, not Hello Neighbor. What was the one where, like, everyone's smiling, the dystopian thing? What the fuck? I mean, there's a fireplace. It's not Squid Octodad. Octodad was better reviewed than this shit. We Happy Few. That's what I was thinking of, yeah. We Happy Few. I mean, what would all this smoke be? Yeah, melee weapon. I think it's We Happy Few. 67%. It was horribly reviewed. No. PC. I guess it is Sims. People were just talking about Sims in the previous guest. Doesn't this look like Sims now? British Simulator. Truly the darkest timeline. The game where you play as a landlord. Isn't that like every building game? Where you're like any Command and Conquer or Age of Empires shit is just like you're basically the landlord. I guess it's not Sims. The lighting is different. House Flipper is a possible guess. I mean, it's the first thing they show you is the fucking fake plastic tiles, right? The texture looks like fake tiles. Oh, I think you're just breaking down a wall. Okay, I think you're right. I think House Flipper is correct. I don't think Death Striker has had a correct guess so far, and I keep on ragging on her for her incorrect chromosomes, but I think she's got this. Yes, good job. It is, in fact, the, you are trying to sell a fucking, house. Jesus Christ, you can scan the fucking leather chair and sell it for $168. Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. Rare woman W. Women understand how the house works. This is why you must, while I am outside making money as my job as a lawyer, I have to come home to the house where my wife has broken down a fucking wall and is scanning my leather chair to sell it. BB praised a female. I trust women when they're being forced to guess games of the following. Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, The Sims, other games that take place in houses. Bigger budgeted Elsa Spider-Man Flash tier game. I don't know, it looks pretty fun. I think a lot of people get satisfaction of being able to create a better house. Selling my casting couch without my permission. Yeah, we'll have to get a new casting couch. Alright, one more. We can do one more. That was pretty funny. I feel like we know this. This is PS1, right? What the fuck? Is it Half-Life? Okay. I was just like, have I seen this before? I think I've seen this. Well, PS1 and Half-Life graphics look pretty similar, guys, let's be honest. That's Black Mesa. It definitely looked, is there a colon? There we go. It's pretty much impossible to slip this shit by, chat, if it's something as famous as Half-Life, so... 96%. Have we sucked enough Gabe and cock, guys? Did we suck it nice and clean? Jesus Christ, 96%. Mr. Friedman. No colon. 98. It was pretty impressive game for 98. Damn, we had so many good games coming out in 98. We had like all the Final Fantasies coming out. We had fucking Half-Life coming out. It was a different time. So satisfying. Don't make them like they used to. I mean, they do make them like Half-Life, that's for sure. For a while, pretty much every first-person shooter was like Half-Life. 95 through 06 was amazing. It really was. You had to be alive to understand it, but I actually didn't understand it when it was happening because my mother didn't provide me with the gaming option. So it was like, I don't know. It was like 2003 by the time I actually got to start playing. I wish I was fully gamered up to play all the games that were provided. 10-year-old me thinking games couldn't get better. 10-year-old me was thinking that games were just going to keep on getting better. I was like, oh, the future is so bright. Every year, video games are getting better and better. Soon, video games will just look like real life. These graphics, they look just like real life, guys, in 98. We're like, holy shit, they're so realistic. Little did we know that we were at the summit of the mountain and it was going downhill from here, unfortunately. Alright, guys. We don't need to do the discussion where I complain about modern games again. See you around. Good night. Have a nice night.